You ready? Rise for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Give approval to make agenda.
Make a motion for the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have approval of the minutes from the January 19th, 2025 regular meeting.
Make a motion for those.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh-huh.
Moving on to old business tonight, 2026 council representatives and board vacancies.
As you'll see in your packet, we do have one letter of interest we just received today. And I put it in my office. But you guys have it in the packet from Scott. There's an announcement for position on the BCA.
Very good. Okay. Scott is with us tonight and he has a interest. So
We've got one position left on our BZA board, 5-member board, and that is a position appointed by the town council. Like there's 2 positions that are of membership on the planning commission appointed by the planning commission. There's 2 members that are appointed by the town council president, and there's 2 members, and there's 1 member that's appointed by the town council as a whole. So we've got that last one that we need to fill.
does anybody have any questions for Scott pertaining to the BZA or his reasoning or anything? Alex, you got anything?
I don't think so right now.
He's got a letter here. I can read it. Or you have any questions before I read?
No, the Reddit post was pretty good, but go ahead.
He said, oh, did you guys read it? I just
Yeah,
read it
I
right
just
now.
read
I'll
it.
read it aloud.
Yeah.
I am writing to formally express my interest in being considered for the open seat on the North Judson Board of Zoning Appeals. As a 29-year resident of the town of North Judson and a lifelong resident of Stark County, I have a strong interest in fair and thoughtful zoning decisions that balance growth with neighbor character. I am drawn to the BZA's role in interpreting and applying zoning regulations consistently and objectively. My background in general volunteer work in the 4-H program for 15 years has prepared me to review information carefully, listen to public input, and to make decisions grounded in established criteria. I would be honored to serve the community in the capacity and am willing to commit the time required to fulfill the responsibilities of the position. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Scott Rizanowski. All right, we have a motion to move forward with that.
Make the motion, we accept the letter from Scott Rizanowski to the BZA.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
See all those seeds we were planting, man. It's great.
I did some arm twist in the last
Hey, I love
meeting.
it.
I like another Hotmail guy too. Those are few and far between.
I'm still one. When I walked past you, I was gonna say something. It's like, you know what? I probably aggravated him enough that I won't say anything. I had no idea that this was in here. So it was like divided attention. So very good. What else we have for that, Andrew? Anything else?
No, we're working on park board. We've got a list of registered voters and party affiliation, and Joe's reached out to a couple individuals, and we've not heard anything back yet.
Yeah, I spoke with an
Okay.
individual Friday. I'm just waiting for his letter of interest to be turned in. After our conversation Friday, I'm very enthusiastic about joining the park board. He understood he is part of the Democratic Party, so he could fill that Democratic seat. He was has family, younger, wanted to get involved, and he sure his wife would be enthusiastic about getting involved also. So
Very good.
Love it.
more to come.
Okay, moving on. 2025 year-end billing, financials, and annual financial report.
Yeah, here. So there'll be, this is the next meeting will be the last bit for that. We've got some meetings coming up and year-end work along with the resolution you have next. But in your packets with the paper clip, there's the accounts payable voucher, and the other big packet is our year-end reporting. Our fund report on there showing where we're at as far as year over year. We've seen increases in some, decreases in other. We're building up our MVH for the anticipation of projects, next year and the following years after that. So, seeing such an increase there is noted because we had a down year this year. Didn't use a ton on paving or any of the big expenses, just normal operating expenses, salt, sand, breakdowns and repairs, all that kind of stuff. So, we went from 80,000 to 138,401, which is a pretty substantial leap, but we anticipated that for next year and the year after. The other ones we look at normally are parks, saw a small increase, and the money we've devoted to parks recently, that's good because we put a lot more money into employment and just general repairs and improvements. So it's good to see. We're using our CCI, CCD, and seed it along with donations from local entities. We're using that really well to balance not over spending and overreaching on our park fund. Then we're looking at 4401 through 4436. That's our CCI through to our seeded. They're at the bottom of the page one, and we're seeing. I'm just going to touch on these briefly. Some decreases in CCI, increases in CCD and seeded. But like we said, we're going to be able to use that seeded as a fund that we can do a lot as far as downtown improvements, signage, things like that in the coming months and years, especially. But that's going to go away, and ultimately our taxes will then just all revert into the general fund. We'll be able to budget them a little differently going forward with the tax changes. So that seeded will go away, but we will be looking more towards general fund, carving out more capital outlay items within our general fund, since that's where the whole of our monthly local income tax contribution or distribution from the county and state is going to end up all going to general fund versus the way it is now, where a big chunk of it goes into seeded and then the other part goes into our general fund. So we can look forward to that. It'll all be similar numbers. You'll see the general fund increase when we move those over, but you see a healthy budget there for fund 4436. That's the one we have budgeted every year, Christmas lights and a lot of other things that help with our signage that we're putting at Norway and signage up here. Water and sewer, water is down a bit year over year. Sewer is up almost the reciprocation ×2. So we're showing a good balance there. Payroll, that is a monthly thing. We'll have a transfer at the year end to correct that. That's one of the things where bills go out and payrolls, where payroll funds are transferred in and then bills are paid by the time the payroll is the next payroll rejuvenates that. So it's sort of a month end thing. And then appropriation reports. I'll let you guys look through those. Nicole will be here she won't be here. She'll be here the 9th. We're doing our annual financial management reports on our water and sewer. So also on our general fund, etc. So this is the meeting a week from today where we start to think about budgeting for 27, what we're looking at capital assets as far as our water, sewer, and police, fire, all those, where we're going to budget and what in anticipation of the year ahead. We won't really dig into that until July, but while we're doing our annual financial management reports on the sewer and water, we'll be working on year-end stuff and just get a sort of a start to looking at 27. I know it's too early for that, but we still like to keep it in the zeitgeist. That is it. I'll have our actual annual financial report. It'll look a lot like this for your approval at the next meeting prior to the submission on gateway to the state board of accounts. We'll do that at our approval at our meeting on the 17th, and then I'll get all that wrapped up and submitted by the middle to end of that week, and we'll be looking at a submission then, which is ahead of the March 1st due date.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to new business, town resolution number 2026-01, appropriations transfer resolution.
Appropriation transfer resolution number 2026-01 be resolved by the town council of the town of North Judson, Indiana, Stark County, Indiana, as follows. The transfer fund as the first treasurer of the town of North Judson, Indiana, have been found by the proper officers to be necessary. The transfer is hereby appropriated and directed. And this is just correcting for some funds that are overspent versus others that still have funds in them. And we do an auto transfer at the end of the year where the system will take negatives and apply the funds that are still in the positive. It'll zero those out and handle the negatives. State Board of Accounts doesn't even look at it really, from what we've been told from Baker Tilly. But I still like the idea of a clean year end on our financial reports. So the negatives you see in some of those appropriations will be zeroed out by departmental shifts. And it gets to you have like 4 numbers, 3 numbers, and 3 numbers. And those last 3 numbers, 300 level funds, 400 level, you have to, you can only transfer class to class, not department. Department, it's got to be classification, wages, services and charges, other expenses, or capital expenses. So I put this before you, 2026-01.
Make a motion, we pass town resolution 2026-01.
Second.
All in favor?
Great. I will get those initiated and that'll be part of wrapping up our year end.
Okay, moving on to guest recognition. Yeah, thank you, sir. Christina, you got some next information for us tonight?
Let me check in and. We had our first meeting of the year. We decided on our theme today is in our state, harvesting history and growing tomorrow.
Harvesting history and growing tomorrow. All right, sounds wonderful. We did do a meeting last year and met with everybody, which I think you were a part of that. Yeah. I think we wanted to do that again, didn't we? Anybody got any ideas on that? I do, yeah. Alex, you in for that? Joe? So enthusiastic.
Hey, I was at the last.
Was that
meeting. I was, hey,
You were.
let's mess it up. I'm ready.
Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm
Joe,
game.
you're, Frank, you ain't gotta worry about it. So we need to try to figure out a time that works best for you guys and for us as a whole. And then Andrew can be like, he can be your conduit for that because he can actually gather us all.
Okay.
I can't do it. I have to go through one of them.
Yeah, so the way the communication works, they're not able to communicate with more than 2 council members at a time. So between Joe and I, we can figure out a date. So I will let you know that we've got a holiday on next Monday, 16th meeting, which is in my list of adjustments to move that to the 17th.
Yeah.
I've adjusted our yearly meeting schedule. So if we want to do it in next to one of our regular meetings or after, then we'll be meeting on Tuesdays.
Josh is gonna be on vacation here pretty soon too, so
What dates
I'll be
we
back.
have?
I'll be back that week.
we'll be back that week. There you go.
Okay, so Tuesday, the 17th, if we want to do,
I'll be in Indianapolis that whole week.
16th, the week of
16th
16th.
to the 20th, yeah.
And what about the week after?
March, or we do before our first meeting in March, or
So what about the 23rd or the 24th, or is that? 23rd be a Monday.
Well, it's Josh's week off.
we're out the 23rd, but I don't have to prepare for that. We could be back by that evening, John, if we wanted to do the 23rd. Or if Josh is out. And that
About the following week.
gives us that.
He's on the.
Second,
You're back there too?
I mean, guess
You're only gone.
I'm only being gone 6.
Josh takes 2 weeks. You're
Only
only
a couple of days other here and there, but nothing crazy.
That's how I can check back in. Gotta come back. Check in.
Feed the cats. Gotta feed the cats down at the farm. Yeah.
so we got
How about the week of the first?
March 2nd,
March 2nd.
March
Can we do
2nd,
that week?
What time you thinking?
5:30
Yeah, we could.
5:30?
or after.
Oh, I think we should do it after.
Okay, we're not limiting ourselves to an hour.
After big.
After be better, right?
Yeah.
After, Alex, you okay with that?
I'm wrapped up with, we won't have anybody here or RDC before then, so that's fine. Yeah, it'll be a quick meeting, I mean, so
Yeah.
we shouldn't have a long
Executive for that or?
drawn out.
We did executive
Yeah,
last
it was
time.
a tourism thing, we used to meet with, where you can basically prospecting with, on the tourism side of things. So let me look at that again.
I think we use it for, I remember
So
that.
I'm prepared with the ideas, anything you guys
Even if, it's yeah, even if it's public, just.
I mean, we're
It
kind of,
doesn't matter.
this is like the time to be telling us all this stuff. So.
Yeah, so we want to bring our ideas and what we,
Yeah.
maybe what we saw from last year, pluses and minuses, just like we met with last year. I think you came to that one, right?
Yeah.
Very first one. The second one didn't go so well, and the third one went better, I think. Yeah. So yeah, so I don't know that it's gonna be like last year, hopefully.
I don't think so.
No, and it shouldn't last as long probably, but we still need, I think the input from the seven of us, I would say.
Get on the same page here.
Yeah, and then after that, I don't think, I think Chad and Eric and like Joe, because he's involved too. We probably don't need to have another one after that unless we find something that, oh my gosh, just sets the world on fire, so.
And when does Donna normally file for her permit and stuff?
Well, she normally the first week in February before Josh takes his first vacation, but
We can hold it
stopped
to
that
that.
last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's. any-
So, but after we meet, you can have it probably almost
So,
ready, and then after we
That would
meet.
be a good time if you've got it. We can get it to them a
And
day
I
or two
picked that up
ahead.
in the office from.
Yeah, if you got it, then we can get that submitted, by that Friday, the 28th or whatever of February. That would give us a chance to, or 27th, that would give them a chance to look it over the weekend and discuss it, or we could go through it. if
Yeah,
we
we
have
can,
it ready by
if
that
not,
Monday.
that's fine too.
Yeah, we.
Then you can even present it the
the
following, following meeting in March. I mean, to us, really, if you did it April 15th or March 15th, doesn't.
I don't think there's a lot of.
No, it doesn't really matter at all.
That's scheduling.
No, I think really what's most important to us probably would be that it's right. Like,
Yeah.
just so we don't have to make corrections. So if it takes long, and that's what I always tried to express to Donna too, I think. What we did was like last year, like there's not a,
No hurry.
yeah, there's no hurry.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about, if we're expanding in some direction, like that still has to be ironed out, so I don't feel like. we
Sure.
could even do that
Exactly,
now.
right. So that makes best sense. I don't know if there was just some reluctancy or a little bit nervousness to where we weren't gonna approve it. So let's hurry up and get it in so we can get it approved.
Yeah.
Where I don't necessarily think that's at all what we're thinking. We're just thinking, let's get it right, So yeah, so that would be my opinion. No rush on that, just whenever you can get it to us.
Yeah, or if it's not complete, any documentation you have or anything you want them to look at.
Yeah, I think a review of it, if there's any question, that'd be the perfect time to talk about it.
Okay,
Especially logistically.
Yeah.
Even if it does involve like the police or the, utilities, we just want to talk about that. Not that they have to appear for that meeting, but
well,
no.
seems like, no,
We get to it. Yeah, so I think that's a good idea. So you let us know, you let Andrew know, and then we kind of,
that's fine, I mean, that's the date.
be able to be here. That's the
I'm
question.
sure we'll get plenty, I mean, I can't say that every single person's gonna be here, but.
In the past, there was a coupon with that, so whatever, whatever you can figure out.
It is what
fine.
it is,
Yep.
Can't work around every single person's schedule, it's never
That's
gonna,
a fact.
never gonna work out.
All right. Is that it tonight? Anything else?
No, I just kind of came to check in.
All right, anybody have any questions? No. Thank you.
I'm gonna duck out, take my kids.
Do that. All right, we're moving on. Clerk treasurer.
So. Get started with this stuff quickly. I've got one request for adjustment. And it is. Account 528. 0000. It's a meter read issue with. New. System on our updated system on our meter reading system. So last three numbers were dropped off. The actual consumption, causing the actual consumption to be quite a bit more. The correct reading was 461.89, and the meter read 461. So, and that was the amounting to a consumption of 54,000 gallons. So we've got a credit adjustment of 246.83. Request for that account 528.0000.
Thank you.
Make motion to approve the customer adjustment request.
All in favor?
They appreciate that. Next I've got. Our town council regular meeting schedule, so if we could approve that, there's the two adjustments on there for Tuesday, February 17th and Tuesday, September 8th. And I send this out to all the news agencies and all that. So I would like to give them an updated schedule. It's official and approved.
Is it just 2 adjustments?
Yes, there's one, yeah, basically the MLK, which was previous, and Tuesday, February 17th, and Tuesday, September 8th. Veterans Day, I think, is on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday this year. So we won't have to, yeah, we won't have to adjust for that.
No, November 11th.
It is November. What am I thinking it's on Thursday? Justin, what am I thinking? Yeah, that was my thought. I don't know why I said that.
So just looking for approval of that update.
I make a motion that we approve the updated schedule for the regular meeting of the town council.
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Appreciate that. We got 2 POs. PO 2944 to Curbsy. This is for our town comprehensive plan update. And PO 25 or 2953 to First Choice Insurance in the amount of $75,588 for our yearly property and liability insurance update.
I make a motion that we pay PO 2944 and 2952.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. So, let's hear. Let's see. We have fire, sewer, water, W-2s, 1099s went out. We got some adjustments there. So we've gone to an entirely electronic submission of that, but I had the 1099 paper forms this year, like the red ones that go to the federal government, and you do it once a year, so it's tough to remember exactly what, as they're changing the way the system, the way you have to submit these now. For if you have under 50 employees, it was always paper copies. So I did that for 8 years now. And the 1099s were mailed in, and then there's separate from W-2s, a place where you electronically file those. So you have to submit for a TCC code to get into the fire system or the IRS system. And basically the 1099s went out on paper, and they said not to duplicate it by sending in the electronic one. So I have one that I'm working on getting corrected, but that's just a numbers thing. So those, just to let you know, those have been all submitted. 216 holiday. That's all. There's probably more, but I think that's all.
Okay, moving on, school board, nobody here tonight, moving on to building inspector. Nobody here tonight, code enforcement. Anything with that?
Not a lot to report. Still got some random vehicles we're pulling and some contact we're making. I'd like to do a kind of a big push probably before the end of March. A lot of homes that are repeat issue homes. And I'm still trying to decipher how I want to do that. If I want to go almost in a door-to-door fashion with those particular places with my own just letter of issues to address and kind of let them know, like, been kind of lenient over the years and always try to work with people and stuff like that. But these are the things that we want to see fixed this year. So by summertime or whatever that magic date is, these things need to be rectified, or we're going to face fines and start issuing fines this year. That's kind of the thought process. We just got a lot of people that just don't want to do anything, and it's hard to force the issue. And a lot of people are struggling and having different kinds of issues, and we always try to work with them. But at the end of the day, some things can be done. It doesn't take 3 years to clean up your yard or whatever the case is. So
Especially if it's trash or
Yeah,
something.
that's just a lot of times that's what it is. And it's like you almost have to go out there and hold their hand, like, listen. And I've had this argument with people on their front porch.
Grab a trash bag.
There's no reason this is still sitting here. I talked to you a month ago about this. And you don't want to talk to people like their children, but at the same time, I've been here 3 or 4 times. Like, what do we do? I don't want to fine you $50, but I'm going to. And then I don't. I walk away and I come back in a few weeks and we have the same discussion. So it's tough. So this year I'm gonna kind of approach it a little differently and maybe have to play some hardball, I guess. So that's it for code enforcement.
Okay, thank you very much. Unsafe, Andrew, Joe, anything with that? Really?
Justin.
Just.
We had,
This here.
we had 3 that went out in the newspaper.
Yes.
Have we got any update on those? As far as like, not to put, if there's nothing I know, the court system, the way it works and all that, but just want to put those on the radar again.
The one that we should see moving forward is Mr. Witt's property because the case is fully briefed and we filed a motion my office did for a status hearing. So because we hadn't seen any action on that one after it was briefed, so we filed an additional motion just basically to say, sitting here, it's briefed. The next step. So it could be there could be some discovery in that case.
I would
We've got an attorney and usually they like discovery.
Yeah, and I would say on this one over here too, I've had 1 or 2 people come in. The Lane Street one, and that it's fully paved almost at this point. So it's like, we've been asked to put things out, guards, and it's like, we don't want to get involved and, put out, I'm not sure what we would put out under it.
With our action, we can
What's
take.
actionable as far as an awning, literally falling in front of a business under where people walk? Do we want to put out barricades? Do we want to,
So my recommendation for that, if it's an immediate health and safety hazard, like pieces are falling down, it could fall down, then you do have the authority to go in and take action to, I said, bring down the
correct as best we can, or make safe the premises?
you can block it off. It is basically as far as you can go without homeowner consent.
And maybe it's like how we have for the ice on the bakery, we could do around that awning that's collapsing in. And it's one of those, the cars, it's the crash, it's one of those things. So
Yeah.
that's another one that on the radar we have with.
Have you ever been able to make contact with these things? Was that gentleman?
On the corner?
No.
I swear to this.
Cars coming, go.
Yeah. I've never
Seen him in there? No, I've never seen him.
no
Lights,
activity in the
activity.
front.
Never
no,
responded to
yeah.
our letters or certified letter.
Yeah, that's what we published in the newspaper like they have to.
Certified letter's been given to the residents in the back.
Yeah, the address that is registered with us on the utility side and on the property
They don't,
card,
they don't accept it.
they didn't accept it. And so then we published it in the newspaper, I think we ran it twice or something.
Mhm.
But we've got all those documents, basically proof of publication to Justin. But my question, and it's great answer, thank you, is the short, because as long as things go on, it's like, this is one that involves people walking underneath that thing.
So we don't know if it's renters that live there or if it's the owners, what we're saying, right?
No, I thought he lived in the backseat courtship, but I'm not 100% sure. We're not.
I mean, I know when Josh changes his oil, but I've never seen a human there. It's incredible.
Right, you're right.
I mean, and it's right there. I mean, it's not like it's in some obscure place in town where it never got drive by. I drive by there 30 times a day.
High Street, buried back there on High Street,
I think I got
Yeah.
right in the parking lot right there. We can maybe set up arrangements or something. Huh?
I do need to file a complaint. I did get behind on the one that we were talking about. I was, not to make excuses, at a death in my family, I thought it would come in for about a week and a half. It kind of came out of nowhere. I kind of fell a little bit behind. I need to catch up on that. So I will, seeing as how that one seems to be the most pressing one. We'll get that complaint filed because at this point, there's really nothing more to do since we've published notice and tried serving them as best as possible. So yeah, that one.
That'd be
That one,
awesome.
that one I'm behind on.
Thank you, because and that's, everybody has those and it's no worry. Like it's immediate, but it's been working its way to the immediacy for years now, and it's, somebody come in.
When we had the building here,
That's what I
it had to be
pictured.
taken
That's
down.
what I pictured, though.
We
That's what, yeah.
some
Fence.
sidewalk, I don't know.
Shut down and spin.
Shut down,
Chain-
right?
Yeah,
They
chain
rented
link
a
fence.
fence
Fence.
around it.
Sandbags.
No,
and
no,
chain
no,
link
with the
fence.
lights.
Chain
No,
link
chain
fence,
link
like
fence.
6 feet tall.
And I don't know if it's that or it's like the ice where you don't want people walking underneath that area. I think that's the extent. If we had 4 barricades, 2 and 2, just to keep it, out from people going, out from under where you have to walk around it. It doesn't extend the whole width of the sidewalk either. I think you could put it up towards the edge of that sidewalk, you'd be fine. It's not the most traveled path in town, but once in a while there are people that walk it. That's all for unsafe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is the owner, sorry, not the.
Come on, let's go.
Does the owner of that property, do they have assets sufficient to tear that thing down? So our next question is going to be, because we have the same issue over in Knox where we've had a case that's been pending for over a year now because the guy just quite frankly, he doesn't have anything, we've had court threats, but the city doesn't want to take ownership of it, level it, huge costs are them. So I guess, just looking ahead, I guess I'm just, because
Yeah.
basically what happens when I'm in front of the judge on these things is they say, we give them 90 days to do it, for example, and the court is pretty good about enforcing that. But then after that, the court kind of looks at us and says, okay, what do you guys want to do about this now? We can have penalties and civil fines, but if they don't have anything, what do we do? So I guess that's an open-ended question to you guys is, I don't know the individual that owns it. Do they have resources to be able to tear it down for order?
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if it's a building thing either. I know it's the awning, and the awning, behind the awning is brick. So it may just be an awning thing.
Yeah, I think it's just the awning.
Get the awning off there, and the building is brick. It doesn't look in bad shape. I don't see leans or, like some other buildings downtown. So I think it's just that sort of a pedestrian right of way. It's a danger to that pedestrian right of way more than it is the building caving in. But it's part of the structure.
Well, it sure would be nice to see a full structure situation since it's like that. How do we know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes you nervous, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if
sure.
that's like that, we can see it. What can we not see that,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, and if the brick hasn't
Metal.
deteriorated like that wood has.
Wasn't it
it's
on
been
the side,
exposed.
on the other side? Didn't we talk about
So-
that before? That brought up, I thought you were the one that brought that up. Maybe I'm thinking about something else.
But that may be
Oh,
part of an
yeah.
inspection warrant that looks at the whole, not just the awning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because we've done these, we've taken these to court, a dozen times probably with several towns, and it always gets to the point where,
Who's gonna pay?
we find them $10,000-$15,000, whatever we can statutorily find them, and then kind of the court looks at us and says, okay, they don't have anything. You guys want ownership of the property? Do you? Maybe not the case because we're
Yeah,
but
property.
something to think
about though, too.
Yeah, we control our fate. Yeah,
Yeah.
we control our fate in that regard. So, yeah.
We'll get it to that point and
Sure.
we'll see what you guys think, but.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Thanks, Justin.
thank you very much. Moving on to BCA and planning. Anything with that?
Oh, no, not much.
Very
Welcome to
good.
member.
Very good, yes. Got it. Redevelopment Commission, anything with the redevelopment commission?
I don't think so. I don't know if we'll hear by the time we have our second meeting in February on the trail grant.
Yeah, either then or beginning of March, so.
Very good.
So maybe we pencil in 6/15 on 17th.
Okay, moving on then. What about the park? Anything with the park?
Yeah, there was a park board meeting last week. Park board is reorganized.
Very good.
Megan Greer, the new park board secretary. And the new park board president is Andrew Hughes.
Oh, good.
So as I said earlier, they're looking for that fourth member. They're planning to have their next park board meeting here, February 25th at 7 p.m. I know we're gonna have Aaron put some stuff on Facebook and our website. Try and invite people to the park board meeting. They're trying to get folks that are interested, they can't be on the park board, but if they have things to offer the park board, ideas, help with some of their fundraisers they're planning this year.
Looking
And
for volunteers.
Yeah. yeah, so they're trying to get,
Volunteer.
yep, anybody
Committee
can
was
volunteer.
discussed, yeah,
Yep, and
committee
they're-
formation.
Yeah, they're trying to get some involvement that way. So they're gonna be putting out some ads and seeing if they can get some more involvement other than the four, and because they've got some plans this year to restart the fundraiser. And then looking to do projects in the park on their own, with the council approval and
Yeah.
then a fall cleanup day. So yeah.
What we need to get is our 5-year plan. I'd like to get a copy of that to all those members, just to be able to look and have as a guide for year-over-year planning as we look to improvements. We've already discussed it to death, held public hearings and listening sessions around our parks. So that's sort of a blueprint that we could work around.
It also would be nice too if they had someone that could represent, maybe Andrew comes to a meeting here with us and maybe when we get to the spring, we start things start kind of
Yeah.
ramping up. Kind of once they've met a few times and got their ideas together, because then we can collaboratively all of us we can't go to their meeting
Right.
where they can come to ours.
Right.
And I don't think all of them come, but maybe if one came and we had a, kind of some open dialogue, or we can even do an executive like that,
Yeah.
or just a special meeting, just
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
That's fine too.
Like
I'm open to that. It could be it could be a special meeting for that, but, I think that would benefit us, especially with new leadership. And kind of with what new direction they're going and maybe another new members,
New
we'll have two
members.
new members. Yeah, because I think we ourselves want to, we don't want to make necessarily those decisions.
No, no.
We're more financial when it comes to that stuff, but since we've kind of taken it over the last
Mhm.
how many years, I mean, it's kind of been smooth sailing for them because we put so much into that, and that's great. That's okay. But they can kind of take back some of that stuff, which it sounds like they are, which is
Yes.
really good, which is what we want,
Yeah, and that's why I told him, I said, obviously, we're gonna continue to try to improve our park as a town, the council and myself and Andrew and the community, but we'd also like some feedback and some buy-in from the park board,
Right.
And gave them a bunch of catalogs with ideas, equipment, stuff like that to try to spur some stuff, and they're in this on the same wavelength too, that it doesn't have to be a $30,000 project. It could be as simple as this year they're doing a $3,000 project because they did fundraiser, or maybe it's something a little more and they want to come and approach the council with, but they want to definitely do it in conjunction with us, because I told them, I said, we need to have that communication between the park board and us, because we've got projects going in. We don't want you putting something in the park that we're tearing out 2 years later because we have something bigger going.
Yeah.
So,
Or
so,
it clashes
yeah.
with.
So
Yeah.
I said, we definitely all still want to, work together, so they're all for it, so.
Very good. Anything else with that? Anybody else have any comments? Nope. All right, we're moving on. Mr. Frank.
Smooth sailing. I do have the country good news as far as the money we spent on the evidence restructuring. So that paid off pretty big today. I got a subpoena for some information on a jump drive that was in evidence, and I think most of you had seen what the evidence room looked like before and what it looks like now. And so if you can imagine looking for a jump drive this big in that mess before. So this time here, I looked up the case file, typed it in my spreadsheet, said exactly where that was at. Took me about 5 minutes to walk down there, open it up. And, I just had to go through a code now at this point. And pulled it out, got what I needed, and it saved me probably hours. So that was the first payoff.
Not everyone is trained on how to categorize everything and not how that works now. So at any time.
Well, as small as we are and as new as the officers are, right now, I'm the only one dealing with evidence.
So you're logging everything in.
So, yeah, so it all has to come through me. And that's a security issue as well.
Dual controls on things, which is
Well,
the way we work.
The bad thing is we don't have dual controls right now. It's literally all just on me. Because of the way I come in, we didn't know what we had going on.
Yeah,
Right, we didn't know what we had going on, so it all just kind of fell on me, which is fine. But if I don't know what's in there, then I don't want to have, this guy dual control when neither one of us know what's going on in there. It's best just to have one person that doesn't know. So now that we've done this audit and it's all on paper, now maybe we can get to the point where you can do dual control.
Yeah. And as your department, there's the chief deputy position, you're able to get a little more familiar with assigning roles like that as guys get more acclimated.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that was just a really good day today to have that happen. So sort of that Dave starts his fifth week at the academy. He's not loving this last week. It was physical tactics week, and he's 51 years old, and he was wrestling around with 22-year-old guys. So he said he made it through it. So he's good and happy. And
Thankfully, we don't do a lot of wrestling around here. I guess.
but when you do, you do.
Yeah,
That's the problem. So he's doing really well. Everything else is going pretty good. So
Good. Maybe questions for Frank tonight? No. Is that new uniform you got on tonight, Frank?
it's a new shirt.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's
dark
sharp.
and black. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
First thing
yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah.
So yeah, looks nice. Okay, we'll move on. On to the fire department, Mr. Nate.
Well, Eric's got our tanker listed for sale online. He's had some interest in it, so hopefully won't be long. He's already got more phone calls than I expected. We have our meeting this week. We'll start talking about what we want to do with trucks and moving things around, moving forward. I don't think I have a whole lot other than, did we want to talk any more about our rates and whether we're going to move forward with our new rates to match the state?
Yeah, whatever you guys, what you guys supposed to.
So yeah, we'll need to publicize and all that kind of thing. Once I have something to put in a publication that we can get on the newspaper, we'll talk about our timeline for it going in the newspaper, the public hearing. And then, so it needs to be publicized, and then the meeting will be 10 days after that date of publication. And then once it's approved, then it would be published again in the newspaper, and 30 days after that publication of the rate ordinance itself, it'll go into effect. So it's 2 newspapers, a public hearing, and days.
Okay,
all
so-
be there.
So, next date, you know what you need to do.
Okay. I just need, and what you have, the changes, we'll give to Justin, and I'll put in ordinance form,
Okay.
and then we'll advertise the public hearing, and I'll just get specifics from you, because basically the public hearing just is time, date, location, and reason, pretty much. So along with that, we'll take those or whatever and put it into an ordinance, and then we'll address the ordinance at the meeting after the public hearing.
And I'll have Eric get with you on that. He's
Yeah,
kind of heading that whole
absolutely.
thing up.
Yep.
So
For sure.
other than that, I don't really have anything.
You guys run like a 5-year plan with trucks, and you guys normally do that. Not to get too far in the weeds in this, but I'm just curious.
When we need something, we are in panic mode to replace it.
Yeah, probably not.
We're working on making that better. I mean, but it's baby steps because everything's so expensive.
We understand.
Uh,
They too, but as a town, if we're gonna plan on the old, being paid off or something large, which we were able to afford the last one, I think, because the jetback got paid off. So that was like a big deal, right? So it freed up. Andrew could say the dollar.
Right.
We had going out.
Yeah,
a month,
40,000 a year.
40,000 a year going out. So yeah, so
yeah,
I
we're in.
just think that,
in talks.
I know we talked about new trucks in the past or a truck that you guys need. I've heard that story probably a few times from different people.
Mhm.
So if that's gonna ever be a reality, I think we probably should have like some sort of steps to get to that.
So we
Before
had-
we're
yeah.
buying a bunch of trucks for
Mhm.
them, because they're in 15s and whatever else they're in, so that's gonna happen. Then we know about the police vehicles, so.
Yeah.
So
Knock
this,
on wood, we're doing good there so far, but I'm just saying, like, at some point, it's gonna be your turn with a large purchase.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll kick this, it'll be here before we know it. is what I'm
Right.
saying.
And we've started moving forward amongst ourselves, talking about this in meetings, a 5-year, 7-year plan. Because we know there's still, I think, 7 years left on our new tanker that we got after the one was wrecked. So we're working towards it sooner than later. We do talk about it once a month, so we'll
Yeah.
try to come up with something. And
I'm not saying it's gotta be this month or next month, but
No.
like, just don't think that not for a second, we're not.
Right.
We wanna be involved, and we wanna know what your guys' thoughts.
yeah,
are.
this engine that we just got, it just kind of fills our needs at the moment. The price was right on it for one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit older than I think we would go do if we had to replace it today.
Yeah.
But it seemed like a really good deal at the time, and for what we feel our needs are now, I think it's going to be a good asset for us.
this couch.
The couch truck.
So yeah, I have that bill of sale. However, we need to do that within our budget. I thought of it late. But whenever that payment's due and the dynamics are, just let me know, and we can work the budget with, and then it's the DMV. It takes a stack of paper this big to get a plate and a registration on one. So let me know with that. I'm happy to handle all that.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
anybody else have any questions for Nate, anything? No?
I don't have any questions. I was just gonna say, I mean, like, when it comes to like raising money, like, it's very easy. It would be very easy for me at least, and maybe the guys too, to be unmotivated when you look at like $1 million trucks. It's like, how we ain't gonna raise money.
It's a mountain to climb that you're never gonna climb.
Right, right. So I would say just focus on getting something put away, because this $20,000 truck was a great example of that, right? Bang, we were able to get it because,
Right.
just focus on something. I'm gonna come up with some kind of plan to just start building it up, and just don't let the boys be like, we'll never get $1 million.
Right.
It's easy to do that. I would say,
Yeah,
it might
right.
be a meat bird thing that pops into my head.
5 years was
We
fine
never
with that.
thought we'd buy the last brand new truck. That
Yeah.
was never even a order.
Yeah.
We've been up buying the new truck pretty easily. It's not,
There's a thing where, okay, it's 13,000 a year, 138,000 for 10 years. So we got 7 years left. Well, what if you we doubled up on a payment and pretty soon it's 5 years.
Right.
And you've got rates from the two banks in town and one other bank. And like our $40,000 a year, 10,000 a quarter payment for the jetback, the other $1,200 a month for the salt shed are gone. We just replace it with something like that. That's not utility or utility being separate entity all on its own. In our general fund, we've seen, it's pretty healthy, but we know there's needs on both.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Down
Kim's
hall,
gonna need a
everywhere.
truck. She's gonna need a truck.
And luckily we have the MVH and the sewer and water, we can split those, but nobody wants to go raise rates anytime soon. But at the same time,
But
we don't have much of a choice on some things.
I know that's why Nate and I have been having a lot of discussions about fire territories.
Yeah.
Because realistically, moving forward to purchase trucks like the fire department will need at some point, that's what we need.
yeah,
The amounts are too big.
Yeah, the amounts are too
Yeah.
big. I mean, we can budget 10 units, but I mean, what we're budgeting right now, our tanker was $230,000. That same tanker now is almost $4.
Yeah.
Impossible when we're trying to.
you can't.
So if we're trying to save 200,000, by the time we got it saved, it's doubled. So we're gonna have to look at other alternatives. And I know that Nate's really going down that road hard now.
But that's not an
Eric's point,
easy
yeah.
undertaking either. I
Yeah.
mean, fire territory would be the best solution, but you got to convince everyone else it's the best solution too.
When you say fire territory, what do you mean by that?
You want to explain it?
Dollars, tax dollars.
Yeah.
It allows tax dollars to be, basically they go to the fire territory.
department. Fire department goes for equipment.
Hamlet just
Can
did
only
it,
be used for
and
that.
they get X amount of dollars every year that is used just towards equipment. So if they want to go out and get a truck, they could budget toward it because they know that they have this many people, they're getting this much every year.
Which
off of
Yeah.
means
that
they're
number.
gonna get raised, so we're paying that? Is that what the
Yeah.
taxes are gonna get raised? We're
Yeah.
paying that?
Which I know Hamlet just did one. I think their rate, they're bringing in over $100,000 a year. And I think their cost to a resident was, I think, $50-$60 a year, something like that. So it's not a huge cost, for each person. We get it, it's gonna be a cost.
How's that built through the?
It's a tax disbursement from the county, just like another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that we'll start to look into because, then all of a sudden, if you're raising this
It's got
money
60,000 a year
every
for that
year,
payment.
now it's something that the fire department go to the council and say, hey, we spec'd out this truck. Will you go get the loan for us? Because we have the payment for the next 5 years. And we don't have to budget it. We don't have to short ourselves at all as a town. And it's a way to actually start replacing trucks. And then at some point, you'll get to a point where you shouldn't need to replace trucks. Everything's everything's
Yeah.
newer.
That revenue
And
stream.
now that can be used for equipment. It could be, at that point, like we had to get the AFG grant
CBA.
for SCBA.
Well, then money that you would be putting there can be put there.
Or to fire run wages, to
Uh,
buildings. So I'm talking about our budget.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our budget.
Yeah, we have less shit coming from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So therefore we can use it for the things we need.
You're not carving up, well, we're not gonna buy radios this year, so let's take that $7,000 from
I
radios.
mean, at the end of the day, it all falls in the same bucket.
Right.
It's just through different channels.
Exactly.
There are
But you can
streams, yeah.
pull from somewhere else for that, and that's less we've gotta, cause you gotta think, if we decided to make a big purchase like that on a $750,000 fire truck. Well, that's gonna hurt our other departments any way you look at it. It's gonna have to
Yeah.
trickle down, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much of a pool.
But, okay, enough of that, I guess, right? Okay, we're moving on to Kim.
Everybody should have got their report. I'd like to give my crew a big thanks. For dealing with the cold being soaking wet on the 23rd when we had the water leak out on Palmer. I'd like to also thank Patrick for being out there for safety for us. We've been throwing a lot of meters. Want to remind the residents to leave their water trickling the size of a pencil and do not shut it off until they are told. We have a work one employee that started last Monday. So he's got a weekend. See if he works out. So when that work one agreement is up, then he can move over to the utilities position, doing a lot of plowing roads with the lovely snow. Been repairing some equipment that has broke. Had to replace the chain on the salt spreader. Had some pipes freeze and bust on the jetback on the 23rd, so we've been trying to get that back up and going. Had a annual well and pump flow testing done at the water department, and I have bad news on that. Last year they did the annual flow testing and they recommended it to well number one to be cleaned then, but it was not in the budget. Well, it's gotten even worse this year. So I have a quote, would like to get the approval to go ahead and get this process started. Last time it was cleaned was in 2010 on this well. With the report I got from last year, which they are honoring that quote for this year. It's down 23% from 2023 and it's only worse this year. So I'd like to proceed with getting this well one cleaned this year. Basically what they'll do is pull it, take the whole pump, everything, go through it, actually flack the pipe in the ground to break all the debris loose in that and get it back up to its standards. And well two, they are recommending to be done next year in 27 because the time it was clean was in 1996. But it's still pumping out 401 gallons a minute. With well one, when it is running, it cannot keep up with the high services, so it's always calling for a second well to kick on. So the quote I have here is $32,975.
What's it putting out now?
237 gallons a minute, but the static is down to 41.78, which is 3 to 4 feet less than last year.
So this is good timing as we're talking about our annual financial management reports. For our utility department, we'll be discussing that a week from today with Baker Tilly, and it's one of those things we talked about, Joe and I. Being able to lean on our, like we said, we saw a decrease in our year end on our water and our increase on our sewer, but we could supplement that unexpected $32,000 expense. We have seeded dollars that it's a really healthy budget we've turned seeded into, so we could lean on that for some capital.
And then just budget the well two next year.
Budget well to next year, yeah. And not worry, if we have to, if there's a truck issue, if there's, whatever, you can look at the fund report and see, we could lean on sewer for those, anything that comes that we're not planning, we could lean on the sewer budget and, for trucks and things like that, we can split it between MVH, sewer and water. So there's some options there as far as that goes. And I think not draining and not hurting, that's probably 75% of a month's utility rate, we call it revenues. That one expense is, 8% of the year.
Something we
Give or
could have
take.
just done, looking back, it doesn't matter now, or.
It's one of those things.
With the project.
If they're.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't that.
Well, number
just make
4 was
sense?
put in. Why not rehab well
What, I
one at
mean,
the same
how many
time?
times does this happen where we look back and say like, why didn't we just do X, Y, or Z? Because
We turned a $1.48 million project into a $1.51 million project. What's the
that's what
difference?
he does.
Yeah.
We can do about it now,
But
but
I don't worry. I don't think that's gonna have a big impact on our water budget. I think we're able to share the wealth on some of that stuff.
sometimes it's just.
It's the principle of it. Absolutely. It's like
If you use something.
It's a
wasn't
UV
done-
system versus,
Exactly, yeah.
that whole thing. Yep.
The whole thing could have been
Yep.
replaced during that time. It's all relevant.
With the most updated IDEM stuff, but it didn't. So it's one of those things we're now looking 5 years out to see.
1996, I mean, Alex was even
Mine
alive.
was 96,
Oh,
almost
shit.
2010.
Whatever, same thing, yeah.
Alex was in diaper.
2010.
I was not.
But the other
Oh,
two are, there's 2 more, right?
One more.
One more.
Well, one with, or well, four, which was just put in at
That
19.
19, that was
But-
the project.
Yeah.
In 28, they're recommending that one because they say every 7 to 10 years to,
Just get ahead of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
keep
for
ahead of
I mean,
it.
I knew the route. We'll never forget the route.
Now with well two, they think there is a hole in that pipe. Is one of its problems also, but until it is actually cleaned and inspected, they don't know that for sure, but with their experience with what it's doing, they're thinking well two has a hole in it, so. Well, one is the main one right now this year that needs to be addressed.
We can't go backwards. I mean, we have to fix it, so it is what it is, but sometimes we see these things, it's kind of like,
Yeah. Our next bond,
it's hard.
it's
Yeah,
like,
next time we just
You know.
really have to be detailed,
yeah.
thorough. everything.
And maybe that includes the building itself, some improvements to the building itself.
Yeah.
Those are the things that'll pop up.
Because that happened
Oh,
too.
needs it, yep.
I mean,
absolutely.
there's like, that's, I know along the way, ever since that's went on, it's been like, why
I
not do
mean,
this?
we,
then?
we
Why not?
put all that, American Rescue Plan money into the water department.
Oh, yeah. 200,000.
200,
300.
like you said, I mean, if
Place all the piping. And that's one project that's like, okay, we're lucky. We don't spend those sums and not feel it, not spread it out over 10 years, like, you know, it's difficult. This 32,000, I think, we
I
can.
mean, it's a small bump the road.
It is, it absolutely is.
What
But
could be, but
we know, you know, down in 10 years from now, who knows who will be where. It's just we got it's planning. It's comprehensive
Yeah.
long-term
if
planning.
we do a large,
Yeah.
large project like we did, then we really need everybody's eyes, ears, everything on the ball.
And maybe it's valuable
Not
to start
just
that within the next year.
Marshall and
Year, you know.
what the guy's name was.
Yeah, we look at 10 years, 2008, they did the Highway 39. 2018, we did the wastewater and the water. You know, coming up quick on 2028, where we can wrap one bond around another. Pay that one down at the same time as we elicit more bonds for those projects that are beyond the 32,000 or 50,000, and there's 5 different things we need to do. Okay, at 250, you could go up to $2 million and it's a beautiful new everything for the next 50 years. That's
Right.
what
Oh,
you
yeah,
think.
that's the whole point. Yeah.
well, I mean, working with some of these engineering firms now, like, and we're already thinking about the next sewer project. And they're telling us to throw the wide net. If we have this problem, if we're talking UV and, you know,
Whatever.
yeah, screw press,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
For the sludge, not only to think of that, let's think of, like you said, we need to think all of the other things. And just because we're thinking of a $4 million project, maybe it's, our wish list is 8 million,
Right.
but,
And we don't look to, again for.
but there's
15,
other
20
grants and things out there. There's better rate, you know,
Yeah, we got a $500,000 grant from Herb C helped us get through Office of Community and Rural Affairs. You know, it's just on a small scale, like the park and downtown stuff we did last year. We ended up spending $8,000 on stuff we thought we were gonna spend 32 on, you know.
And I know talking with Kim already, like, you know, the talk is to schedule some tours, some other plants, see how some other folks are doing it, get feedback from some of the things that we're looking at. How do they like it? What don't they like about it? You know, because we all know if it's a piece of equipment, it's gonna break at some point. You know, how much is it breaking? You know, the things that they are seeing, the general maintenance items, just trying to get a good feeling of our next step to do our research, which I think we all can agree, like, the last time it wasn't. It was,
What wants, not
yeah,
need.
what do we have to do? What,
Yeah.
yeah. Or what that person, like you said, wanted to do at the time.
Yeah, it wasn't thoroughly thought through, and sometimes they would want to spend, the least amount of money as possible just because only do what we think we need, but really it makes obviously much better sense to,
Spend the extra 50,000 to do the thing.
it's nothing
Yeah.
on our,
Yeah.
our total payment. It just means.
It means another, it's around it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. What else you got?
Do I have the blessing to proceed with getting the schedule us, or do I need to hold off?
We could, if it's a motion on you guys.
I make a motion, we proceed with the rehabbing of well number 1.
I second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
I have a few appeals. PO 2945 to H&T Electrical. For disconnect repair that was done back in June. They did not get us the invoice until now for $1,927.24. PO 2946 to Valparaiso Auto and Trailer Sales for my salt spreader chain for $895. PO 2947 to Republic for 3 sludge dumpster removals for $7,583.71. PO 2948 to Next Level Fleet Services for repairs on the 2011 Chevy 1-ton for $857.07. PO 2949 to USA Blue Book for a 1-year service contract for the DR 3900 for $961. And PO 2950 to IDEM for annual water fees for $8,039.35.
Motion to pay PO 2945, 2946, 2947, 2948, 2949, and 2950.
Second.
All in favor?
No.
Anything else for us, Kim?
Thinking of that.
Thank you.
Hold on, this one.
Yeah, of course, that water line broke on the old state of you.
You did.
That was horrible.
It was not real. I couldn't believe it. I drove by and you guys were out there. You're running saw.
I thought I seen the quarter.
You did, and I called Joe and I said, what in the world is going on? It was like.
It's all.
He just likes cutting the road up when it's.
Minus
Yeah.
3 degrees. I'm like, what are we doing, Joe? Joe, you're making them do this?
Just working the tools out, you know?
You know what you guys need for that? Second thought, you need a tent.
For the tornado here?
You do, absolutely. Seriously.
My jetpack probably.
It's worth it to have that. I mean, it doesn't cost that much money, but that's what people do in most places when they gotta work in those holes. They just have that heater inside there and it does help. So, I don't know, food for thought. Okay, Joe, you're up.
Yeah, we've covered some of the park stuff already. I've been working on some of our federal sidewalk projects, keeping those going. We're getting to the point with, we're about a year out on some of those. So the USI project and the Fleece and Vandenbrink project, NDOT always doesn't see them as one complete project. So they see it as two, and we're having to jump through some hoops, but we're having some coordination meetings with USI and F&B to make sure all the drawings are tying together. So in NDOT's eyes, they actually see that it's one complete sidewalk project, and it's connecting the Hugheny subdivision to the park area. So we're working through some things with them. Nothing we can't handle. It's just part of doing business with
We
state.
saw that with our park project
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
And then been doing a lot of work for the CCMG project that's gonna be coming up this spring. Instead of the Cape Seal going with the mill and fill. NDOT had some questions, even though they were both preventative maintenance. So a lot of calls downstate, a lot of calls from the Port District, a lot of pleading our case why we're able to go to a mill and fill and why it's better and why it's still preventative maintenance. Because the initial grant was approved for Cape Seal. So had to work through all that, but we're there. Got it. And, so everything's good, but just a lot of paperwork and dealing with that. But that's the joys of doing projects, and that's cost of us doing business with the state and getting grant money and state money. So we'll keep doing it because it improves our community. And then I know Mitch sent you an email from USI about a municipal transfer.
Yeah,
I told him you were out of country with.
I may need to get on the phone with him because I'm not really sure what he is talking about. I looked back at the original email too, and
Okay.
I'm not.
We
We can jump on a call if you're okay with that,
Yeah,
because he may need to
absolutely.
explain that to me.
Yeah.
I looked at it before I left the country, and I just draw it a blank. on
Yeah,
what he
no
was
problem. We
doing.
can get together and we'll
Yeah,
figure it
appreciate
out.
that.
And then I just have two purchase orders. Purchase order 2951 to Fleece and Vandenbrink for our park sidewalk project for $1,900. And then purchase order 2952 to USI Consultants for our 2025-CCMG for our Hugheny subdivision sidewalk project and for our 88 Title VI for $5,790.
Make a motion to pay PO 2951 and 2952.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Got anything else for us, Joe?
That's it. As soon as I hear something from the grant, from the Indiana Trails Program grant or the latest federal sidewalk project that we've paid for, I'll let you guys know.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Joe tonight? I have Christmas lights written down here. I think that's pertaining to the Christmas lights that got on the highway. What's our power? So what's the status of those? Are they still in good shape?
Some. It's
There's
funny, I
been
brought
some
that.
the garbage company has beat up.
Yeah,
already.
so-
They beat to death.
So
I know I
noticed
handed Joe.
this year, there was a few that looked a little rough and rougher than they should. So I know we have a budget for that. So I think we should probably make a
Replace.
decision on how many we need to buy and probably get they About now as they start to become the best cost.
I just handed the book to Joe today.
So Joe, maybe we can, I'm not even concerned with what we put up there. It's all Chris, I guess. So, maybe you guys come to a consensus and hear what looks the best and figure out how many we need to replace. And even if we have, I know you're not gonna be able to go through and say, oh, write them all up, but maybe if you know there's 5 you threw away, but we need to order 10, maybe we need to, like, if we put one up or we light the up, we realize.
Some are bent or they're.
Yeah, because that's not something, they look kind of shoddy.
Some of the, most of the snowmen are, their butts are smashed because either they were hit or fell down.
Yep.
There's a reef that is starting to fall apart. There's a Santa that's legs bent around.
It seems like the lighter ones do better. Would you agree?
Yes.
Because the larger, which are the Santas and the snowmans, unfortunately, when you put them up in the air like that, they become big sails. So all that happens is the wind just sits there and hammers on back and forth, back and forth.
And you can see the colors turn vanilla almost on the white, like.
I
it's
noticed
got a
that too.
Green
So,
color.
so I don't necessarily know if we use the same company. Maybe maybe
We
it's
used
different.
Temple Display last time and they gave us, it was great price of
Yeah, we
7,000 a year for 3 years. But
Exactly.
we got
And we got-
16 and 42.
Yeah, we got so,
So-
I don't know if we need to do something. I don't know if we need to invest $21,000,
I
but
think we have 9,000.
maybe if we spent 10 grand or whatever, or 9 grand.
9,500, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
something
think
like that.
I'm fine with that if these guys are, as far as
Here's the other thing, we have that budgeted and seeded. We could also, if we matched with redevelopment,
yeah.
there's some
I mean,
dollars there
the way
too.
they looked when we first had them, they were brand new versus last
Yeah.
year.
Oh, you could tell it's been 7 years.
Yeah, I mean,
6
like,
years.
yeah.
And it's
I
time
remember
for
when
that.
we had them in here, we unboxed them and
Yeah, the snowflakes downtown, there's a lot of them are bent up. We
Yeah.
try to straighten them up as best
Yeah.
as we can, and then
Yeah.
semi comes back along and gets them again.
Things and I think next year, having them turned.
Well, I don't want to throw another wrench into it, but
you're going to.
well, do we maybe start thinking instead of down Highway 10 and think differently? Maybe Main Street to Lane Street, do something, and I'm not saying just on the posts, do something different. Nice big entrance. As soon as you turn on Main Street, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Archway would be amazing, yeah.
All of a sudden you come down here,
Yeah, I've
all of a
always
sudden,
been on Archway there.
a couple of things at intersections. Hey, maybe you got a couple of barriers on each side.
Yeah.
Throwing things,
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
maybe.
and up on the hill, there's spots, we have like big, huge presents, like
So-
8-foot high presents.
Are you saying that we just eliminate the whole highway?
Maybe at some point. And
Or
start,
just keeping what we got on the highway, we're just add?
and start turning it more downtown.
Consolidate
Or
in with the
maybe we
best.
keep the best ones we have out on the highway.
Yeah.
For now.
Just do from
and
the
then-
center out, however many
Yeah,
we have.
and then get rid of the bad ones, but the new stuff we put down
Main Street,
Main Street
make it a little
Yeah.
and
dry.
then Lane, right? Or whatever
Yeah.
we put down here, I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't know.
So
I'm,
then we would just be
Something
mainly
good,
focused
Yeah,
on.
just some thoughts, because I mean, I know for a fact, I know Kim would probably love being down Main Street and Lane Street better, because the highway's harder. And then my initial thought was that not just to make it easier for the utility staff, but also now do we draw people? And I don't want to say we're going to be like another community, but when you go to, everybody goes to Lights and Plasma.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be kind of neat to start turning something like that here where it's a Main Street, Lane Street, down to Sycamore, up Keller Loop, or even, a central loop to where
When you get
Now,
buy-in from downtown property
you
owners. who
start,
maybe-
start drawing people downtown to loop, and all of a sudden now they come because they wanted to see the lights and they go to the point. And
Yeah. And some showcases out front of places,
It's
and
like-
stuff.
It's tough along Highway 10 because you got so much road salt and
Oh, yeah.
it's floating around perpetually. You know what I mean? You drive down there, some days it's like white.
Yeah.
White haze,
And-
and that can't be good on. it.
Right.
No.
And I
I'm
know,
not
I
saying
mean,
you shouldn't, but that.
John's original thought was all the way down. Because it does kind of look like an unfinished product.
It does.
We're here to there, then we stop.
yeah, I wanted to go all the way to the beginning, all the way to the end.
And NIPSCO
Yeah.
kind of threw a wrench in that. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that we keep some on the highway though, maybe up the hill past the point.
just
And then
think to
maybe
think
from
about.
Carpenters or whatever, this way. I
Like
think
Carpenter's
we
to
keep,
Family Express.
Yeah.
Businesses, Napa's over on the hill, be nice to
I
have.
think
those lights
that's,
up.
which is kind of how we got it now, isn't it? Pretty much?
And we go down to Dollar General and to George.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so
You
I
could
don't
pair that all the way
necessarily know.
back to Lane even.
Yeah.
Lane Street to George or
Yeah.
to Old Napa, you know. something like
Yeah,
that.
or even Luca to, Luca to George.
That's what I
maybe,
was
something
meaning.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly.
And I will say, I mean, I don't think this is like a 1 year project by any means. Like, sure, we just not, looking through that book, I mean, you'll have some sticker shock.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it's much more than it was when we.
Some cool stuff at one intersection is about $21,000.
This-
Cool. for one.
Yeah, and this is where I'll reach out to Temple because they gave us
Yeah.
a great price over 3 years that I don't think we could have beat it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Especially
They
now,
were the
maybe the best time.
We couldn't do,
necessarily
yeah.
doing a lot of
Right.
sales, which is why I brought it up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Maybe we can get a better deal now and,
We'll start looking into some ideas and kind of getting everybody's thoughts and
yeah.
See what they can do about financing. If we've got 9,500 a year, that's 29,000.
Well, yeah, and if somebody wants to do some financing with us over 4 years.
That's what we did last time. Yeah,
During the budget, like we could figure that out. That adds up pretty quickly.
yeah, over if
Sure
you
would be
4
nice, though,
years.
as Josh said, to put a Santa and sleigh up there. If you're coming into town.
Yeah, 4 years. What we have budgeted is 48,000. So
and they've got this catalog. They've got a lot of cool stuff. A lot of great photo opportunities. I mean, how about a sleigh that you can take a picture with and Rudolph's pulling it, it lights up and you can sit there and photo ops. Be awesome in Norway.
Sure would be.
then there's that spot that with the Catholic parking lot right there. They'd be that's a wide open spot as you're driving down Main Street along your left there. It would be nice, something like you're talking to make it a route. That's just an empty spot that you could put things in it down. Like I talked about those big gifts, they're big wrapped gifts that are like 8 feet high. Yeah.
Then you got the police department. We can just wrap. all
There
the
you
police
go.
department, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, can we make it a big box with a bow on it? That'd be
Well,
cool.
I'm saying.
Or we do Griswold style and just have it covered.
All right, I had to bring that up. Okay, moving on. Legal update. Justin, you got anything more for us tonight?
Just a question, did the planning commission ever decide when to reconvene? I signed into that meeting, and I haven't read through it.
So we did, the zoning went, we had the public hearing. They made the recommendation to the council. We put that ordinance for the council. We published the order.
Okay.
So we got through it. Yeah.
So the zone, okay.
Yep, zoning's good. And the BZA, our 30-day period on one is up the beginning of this month. And the 30-day period on the other is the middle of the month.
Okay.
So just so you know.
Nothing else, Justin?
I think so.
Very good. Moving on to additional business deemed necessary by the council. Alex Winbigler. Nothing. Eric Lewandowski.
If you have a chance, Kim, to throw some more gravel in your hole on the highway today, I'm gonna do that for deep. Something to look into. That's all I have.
What else?
Weeks in there. It had to be completely frozen that day. There wasn't probably a whole lot you could do, so.
Very good. Josh.
Indeed.
Not that anything either. Payment of claims January 20th through February 2nd, for God's sake. The amount of $310,221.59.
Make a motion to pay those out, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you're feeling